Frozen Cloudspine is the name of this map. It's basically, ooh, where am I going here? It's basically Clash on the Cloudspine, but a couple of variations. Like instead of brigands, you got Stygian knights, and then you have fetch instead of mortars, and who knows what else. Instead of the Bray Unor, you got these Solus, and then you have instead of berserks, you have Heron guards. And instead of goals, you have spiders. But there are warlocks, and there are these tro or trow if you are a purist. But I don't know. I say tro because of tro speak. It's not trow speak. Anyway, I have no idea. That's just how I read it to myself all those years ago. Yeah, very interesting. It's basically Clash on the Cloudspine, but with snow, and as everyone's saying, the snow doesn't stick. It is game 2 in Myth Kickballers Week 5, and we are looking at Giant Killer General versus Rat King. So yeah, it's gonna be max. Looks like max spiders, max of these Tro dudes, fetch, and Heron guards, and then the rest of the unit trading points pumped into the Stygian Knights here for Giant Killer General. And kind of a similar thing here. We got looks like max fetch as well. What is it? 6? Yep. Max fetch, max herons, max tro, and max spiders. But then we have like I'm guessing a few of these Stygian Knights traded for Solus, because Solus are 3 points apiece as well as Stygian Knights. So yeah, I think it's going to be a few more of these Stygian Knights there for Giant Killer General. So that's going to be the trade for Rat King. He's going to opt for maybe 5 of these Solus, as opposed to just pumping up his melee. Flag Rally is the name of the game type, so everyone's going to be running around chasing after these flags, trying to tag them. Yeah, you know, kind of could be interesting. I don't know. Let's find out what happens here. As Rat King is up 1-0. Looking at the players again, we got on Giant Killer General's team, we got Carmisi, Father Xmas, Renwood, Donsky, Sam the Butcher, Mercardon, and Milkman. Across from him in the north, it's going to be Rat King with Funky, Adrenaline, Valentine, Highlight, who I'm still not quite sure who that is, myself, Kruniak, and Falcon. One of the other interesting things, well, I'll get to that. I'll get to that later. So yeah, here I am. I'm basically on thrall duty once again. Not my favorite place to be, just because it's kind of boring. I realize somebody has to do it, but geez, seriously, am I perceived as that bad of a player? Like honestly, am I honestly that bad? I played some Rabble games the other day, and they were nowhere near kind of on the of the level of play as we see in games like this. However, they were a lot more fun, I thought.
Flag captured.
For whatever reason. Maybe I'll end up casting a couple of those, because they were a lot closer games and a lot more interesting. So these games are like clockwork. Anyway, basically going on the hill, it's adrenaline. You know, even though it's Flag Rally, you just go to the hill, and this is Mercardon. He's gonna have the tro for Giant Killer General, and everybody's gonna get up on the hill as fast as they can, and you know, try to own the hill, and then from there they're gonna try to tag the flags. For some reason, this is like the strategy that works, and I understand that that it does work a lot of the time, but I'm not sure if this is like the best strategy for this or not. I just honestly do not know the answer to that. It looks like these Solus might be giving a small edge to Rat King's team, just because they were able to divert some of the it looks like Mercardon moving in, but he moves back out. Interesting. I mean, that would have been, I would have maybe tried to kick one of those at least. So it looks like Giant Killer General's team is going to be the loser here. Rat King's team is going to be the victor. So I guess the Solas played an interesting role diverting the fire from the fetch, and you know, so that Rat King's fetch could kind of fire unimpeded. Uh-oh, heal trap? Nope. Interesting. Interesting. So Murkerdon's going to run out.
Captured.
And
victory imminent.
I don't know. It's victory imminent, interestingly enough. Let's see. Giant Killer General's team has tagged more of the flags than Rat King's team at this point in time. Just looking at this, they're up, you know, approximately three flags, it looks like. And so I'm sitting on Thrall duty with Stygian Knights, and I'm just like, uh-oh, here we go. It's going to be, basically, I'm like, okay, well, this game's up to me then to lose. I didn't get to do anything except sit here, and all of a sudden it's like I can still lose the game for us. So I got to be careful to make sure that nobody tags this flag. Although our team is looking to be in a pretty good position, just because, you know, we've lost fewer units. And, you know, their Tro is almost focused down here. It just seems like we're in a pretty good spot here. It looks like they're going to try to just defend this flag, flag 8, and give up flag 7. But we have units en route to that as well. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be really hard for Murkerdon to defend this by himself. I don't know if there's anyone else here to help him. Looks like Renwood is there. And Sam the Butcher with a couple of these units. Oh, here we go. This is what I was looking for. All right, so Donsky is going to move in with these units here. With Father Xmas.
Captured.
And, yep, I'm basically going to kill whatever comes close. It looks like somebody,
Flag
Sam
captured.
the Butcher or somebody with the spiders, not paying too close attention there. And all of a sudden we got a ton of fetch bearing down on this position. Is Father Xmas and it looks like Kermisi with Donsky. They each have one fetch each.
Captured.
They each have one fetch each.
Imminent.
And all of a sudden it's victory imminent. Only flag 6 needs to be tagged. And where is flag 6? This is where all the action is right now. But there is such a huge differential that it doesn't even seem like anything is. Oh, nice shot by Donsky. Was that Donsky and Father Xmas tag teaming that? But in the end, they are going to go down. There's just too many of these fetch here by Kruniak. So valiant effort there, taking out 3 of those fetch in exchange for 1 of their own. But in the end, they get kicked and just overrun. Flag 6 is going to be the last remaining flag, it looks like, and there's nothing to defend it. So somebody just needs to run in and tag it. But yeah, Kruniak is, I guess he's kind of preoccupied at the moment with his fetch and stuff. So pretty good job there by Adrenaline. I think he's going to have no trouble at all just running in and tagging it. Is anything going to be able to contest this? It doesn't look like it. Oh, here's some spiders. Are they going to move in? Giant Killer General. Is he going to do anything? They had all 6 fetch mid. Well, did Giant Killer General have all 6 fetch mid, or did he send some to the sides? That would be interesting to know. And yeah, I'm just not sure. It doesn't look like Giant Killer General is going to risk damaging his ratios by sending those spiders in. Adrenaline, once again, pulling out the damage. 221. I do believe he had the Tro. So that's, you know, obviously that makes sense. And that's going to be more than any other player in the game. Kruniak actually doing really well here also. 0 losses, 166 damage with his fetch. So they both, I think that was the Rat King's plan for this series, was play dark maps featuring Tro and fetch, give Adrenaline the Tro, and give Kruniak the fetch. And, you know, they would just, since those are kind of areas where they both excel, he was kind of relying on them to pull it out, which I think worked out for the most part, as we can see from the first 2 games here. I'm not sure if they were chosen, if these maps were chosen by each I think they were chosen like how they are each week, where one captain chooses. So the first map, I believe, was chosen by Rat King, and the second, this map here, was chosen by Giant Killer General, I believe. And the other interesting thing is that um, like Kruniak is used to teaming up with Giant Killer General, so he kind of has like a kind of an inside idea of what Giant Killer General is going to go for, and I think he was able to exploit that a little bit by being on our team and kind of maybe just by his through his awareness and his plan, but also I think he was able to kind of communicate that to his team as well. So that kind of gave us a slight edge, I believe, in this game at least. And let's look at anybody, how people did on the opposing team. Looks like Giant Killer General had kills with 13. Yeah, surprisingly, Mercadon didn't do so hot with the Tro. I would have expected more than one kill from that, but he did get 54 damage, which is more than most of the players on his team, excepting Donsky, who also didn't get very many kills. Very interesting game, as yeah, not a whole lot of kills there for Giant Killer General's team, interestingly enough. But not too shabby damage-wise, over 300 at least, so that's okay, I guess. If you took adrenaline out of the picture, I think Giant Killer General's team would have had more damage than Rat King's team anyway. Nothing to brag about there. So that's it for game number 2 of the 5th week of Myth Kickballers. Rat King's team is up 2-0. Are they going to win in game number 3 and take the match? We'll have to see in game number 3 coming up next.
Game over.